Welcome back, people. It is episode 20 of season 4 of the Taxi Squad podcast. It is currently Wednesday, May 15th. You'll be hearing this on Thursday, May 16th. Another Taxi Squad Thursday. Here we go. We got a fair amount to get into. We have some strange and unusual topics, and it does have to do with going to church. We also have some NFL schedule release, some potential Bears drama on the horizon. We also got to talk about why the Dodgers are owning the MLB, as if anybody was surprised about that, and also some NBA playoff talk. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. They talk about sports and stupid stuff. They're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back, it's the Taxi Squad, yeah.
Vince! Great shirt.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
For those listening at home, we're both wearing Taxi Squad merch. We're both looking to get more Taxi Squad merch for you beautiful, beautiful people for listening. You didn't ask me how I'm doing, but god damn it, am I going to tell you anyway. I'm doing great today, Mike. Something about me being stateside and not having to go somewhere next weekend is really like making me feel good. I'm so excited to be at home.
I feel that.
Like, it's going to be great. I'm going to Build-A-Bear Workshop on Saturday.
Adorable. What are you doing there? You got to build a
Trying to build a bear, dude.
You gotta build a
I'm thinking about building a bear. I don't think I'm going to buy one just because I have to carry that house around at Woodfield Mall the rest of the time. So we'll see how it goes, but I will be spectating.
Time out, Vince.
Yeah.
You should make us a little fucking Taxi Squad mascot.
Oh, why are you trying to insert yourself into this, Mike? This is my bear, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, it's our bear in theory.
Okay.
And you could just squeeze it and have it play the theme song.
Dude, that would be cool. If I can upload audio to it.
You can.
Okay. So here's my idea. I make a bear for the podcast as like a mascot, and then I have him sing the theme song.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I came up with that. That's cool.
Like
I'm happy that you're down for that because
it'd be like Ted.
That was a unique idea for me. Yeah. So if you're cool with that, I'm gonna do that. Outside of that, though, weather's getting nicer here. Weather's getting hotter for you right now, Mike. It's getting toasty out there.
It is. It's starting to feel like Arizona.
Is this your first full summer there?
It will be my first full summer here. If you can't tell, I got a little sun. Got a little sun over
Me
the
too,
Mother's Day
boy.
weekend. You know, my mother was in town. I'm a good son. My mother came to town, and so was my father. They were both here. They got to enjoy a little R&R. We all went out. It was a lovely time. Had a little time with the in-laws. It was a good old time. You know, doing married people stuff.
I love it, dude. Shout out to the moms, dude.
Shout out to the
I came
moms.
home real early after Miami to go see my mom. I got on a 7:45 flight Sunday morning from Miami. And to say that I was battered and bruised would be an understatement. Little story time. There was a big guy sitting in the middle seat next to me. Big dude. And so I'm a big guy, so I get it. And I'm like, we're totally chill. Like, he understands the rules here. You know, stay within your side, all that stuff. Very hairy, thick. Reminded me of an Armenian friend that I have. Very, very much the same size of that. Dude passes out right away, and god damn it, we might as well have been on Titanic when it ran to an iceberg, because he was just going back and forth and back. Dude was like laying on me for one point. I was just throwing bows right into him. I'm like, I don't fuck with this. Like, and meanwhile, I'm sleeping on the plane because I was dying, so I was sleeping there like a good little church boy, just like sleeping straight up. And this guy's like, like the whole time. So all-time bad flight, all-time bad mood that day. But again, glad to be back and glad to be away from my Armenian friend on the airplane.
So, Vince, were you the aisle seat or were you the window?
I was aisle. I'm always aisle. I need to be able
Always
to.
got to be aisle.
I need to be
You
able
always
to
gotta-
stretch my knees out. You know,
So, do you know the trick with the aisle thing with the armrest
pull it up.
on the so you can kind of put half an ass
Yeah, that's what I
on
do.
the seat, and then also you got the adjustable headrest in the back that you can pull up,
Oh.
fold up. Yeah, that moves.
I
A lot
didn't
of
think of
people don't
that.
notice.
Yeah.
So you got to move that up. All right, and then you kind of kick it to the left.
Okay.
Right? So you
Oh,
can
so
lean.
you can.
So you can
Oh,
lean. So you go, trust me, I've done this. I fly a lot. So
I'm sure.
you go half ass on the seat,
Yep.
somebody large in the middle, you're good there. And then before you know it, you're off to dreamland.
That's
So
sweet.
yeah, but hey man, so fun fact, one of the first times I started flying out to the Southwest is when my cousin moved to Las Vegas. Shout out to Steve. So one of my first trips out there, I wasn't in the career profession I'm in now. I was making my bones or teeth, as they would say, and I was flying Spirit, which is comparable to that of the Greyhound bus in the
Sometimes
sky.
you gotta. Sometimes you gotta. Unfortunately.
So I was on a red eye
Yep.
back, and that was horrific.
Okay.
And I got sat. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be fine. I got the exit row. I'm Gucci. Wrong.
He was not.
I
good.
was sat next to the largest African American woman I've ever met. Sweetest guy. And then to the left of me on the aisle was the largest bald-headed man I've ever seen.
Oh Lord.
So my not small ass.
You were the
is stuck
meat in that
square in the
sandwich.
middle,
Yep.
and I had nowhere to go. So I just looked at this lady who was on the window seat, and I said, "Listen, ma'am," I said, "it's really late, and I'm tired, and I'm hungover." I said, "Is it okay if I lean into you?" And she goes, "Of course, baby, don't." And I was just like, I love this lady.
You were
But it was
cuddling with an older lady. That's
I
so
kind of
funny.
was. It was horrible. That was a very long flight, and then that big motherfucker on the aisle was like this the whole time.
Well, okay, so that's my issue too. For those that are listening, he's putting his elbows out, which I'm with too. Some motherfuckers,
All the players in the house.
you should
Okay.
be able to share the armrest if it's normal. I understand that one person gets it or the other. If someone's sitting on the aisle seat and they take up both armrests, like on the side of the aisle and the other one, armrest goes to the middle guy. If we're going tie goes to the runner, armrest goes to middle guy. Middle guy gets both of them because he's unfortunately in the middle of it. Don't be an armrest hog. So if you're that guy, like, piss off respectfully.
Hey, don't be a whore.
Yep.
And with that thought process of not being a whore, we should lean into our strange and unusual.
We
Because
made
Butker-
two different church references, and what we decide to segue with is not being a whore. Don't be a whore.
So, most recently, Harrison Butker has had many things to say about the Catholic religion being a toxic male in America and why that's a good thing,
Yep.
and how women should live life. So, Vince, why don't you take the lead on this
I would
one?
like to start this by saying that if you are a lady in America, you should listen to the Kansas City Chiefs place kicker to tell you how to live correctly, because everything kickers say is always correct. Harrison Butker did what I assume to be a college graduation commencement. Could be a high school. I'm not entirely sure. I just saw the clip. Yeah, it's definitely college. Harrison Butker tells graduating women that they have been diabolically lied to by focusing on getting promotions and titles in the workplace. Instead, they should be leaning into their vocation of being a homemaker. Why? Okay, so many thoughts here. Number one, why would you say that at a college graduation commencement? Why do you think these women went to college? So they could not work ever and just sit at home and raise a family? Why is that his thought process for them? Hey, good news. All you ladies in here, congrats on the debt. You go home and you make babies now, is all he said. Learn how to make a sourdough bread for your man so he's good when he comes home.
Congrats on the diploma. Get your ass in the kitchen.
That's what he's saying. Dude,
I hate to say it in all words. This is what the man is saying.
quite literally. And I've been to some like church, very church-based weddings, and like I've always had a real issue with it because it's like, do you promise to be submissive to your husband and shit? Like all of that, like those words, those keywords that are used are fucked up. They're not at a wedding. Harrison Butker's like, hey, give them some positive things before they head out into the workforce. He's like, be a lady and stay in the kitchen. Was his entire fucking premise of his whole story. It's so obscene to me this day and age, especially in that scenario. And to him to say it with such confidence is just crazy. To call it a diabolical lie that you're focusing on your career after college is laughable, Harrison Butker. Will I still draft him in fantasy this year? Probably, because he's a good kicker.
Oh, you're playing?
Oh, yeah. I'm playing
this
one
year?
league. I'm playing one league this year, and that's it. All the other ones,
Yeah.
see ya.
I'm going to play a little daily action, but to be honest, if you run a fantasy football league, it's a small form of torture.
Oh, yeah.
Because anymore, like, yeah, it's just like the drafting part's fun, and you think you're going to have a squad, and then the season starts, and you go, wow.
I feel like
what
I
an
draft my team, and then 9 minutes later, I'm like, how did this happen to me?
What an absolute abortion of a draft.
Yep.
Shout out to
Didn't
Harrison
you draft
Butker.
Aaron
You
Rodgers
wouldn't
last
have-
year?
I don't want to fucking talk about it, all right? Either way, let's get back to Harrison Butker.
Yeah.
Not run me through that ringer. But with all of that, catchphrase. So he talks about women being homemakers as $1 million plus earner.
Correct.
Living in Kansas City. By the way, if you live in Kansas City, nice place. Don't get me wrong.
Low property value, though.
You could easily live in a mansion off of his income and retire your wife pretty quickly. Now, the rest of the working U.S., considering inflation is through the fucking roof, interest rates are approaching 9%, a.k.a. I don't know if anybody pays attention to this shit. I do. But with all of it...
It's a recession, baby!
It is. So, in this world, like, how many people out there I'd love to know if you're living, like, in a major city? Let's call it Chicago. Let's call it New York. Let's call it Boston. Let's call it Miami, whatever.
Los Angeles.
How many of the working world or couples who are either recently married or dating are not both working, aka dinks, dual income, no kids?
Small percentage. Small.
And then
percentage.
to add insult to injury, it's not fucking 1955 anymore.
Right, dude.
Like, it's just not like the days of, like, daddy going to work at Sears and mommy staying home and being a homemaker. And if she made that loaf of bread wrong, watch out. Daddy gets mad when he hits the bottle.
Yeah, right.
It's like those days are over, Harrison.
Thank God. Thank God. To be honest.
Well, yes, I agree. Yeah, you see, it should be the way it used to be.
Get back in the kitchen there, you floozy. I'm going to crack you.
You better watch it. Next time, I'm coming for you. I'm going to go smoke my Kent cigarettes since doctors say they're better for you.
Chicken breasts again? Get a better head on you, lady.
These cutlets might as well be leather. Damn it, Louise.
I'll be home late tonight, baby. I'm going out to the stars.
I'm going to hop in my crop top Chevy and show you plenty. Fast talking high pants. But so the days of that are over.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me. He was so public about this, but hey, if you're going to die on a hill, he's going to die on the hill. In a way, I kind of respect him for saying this in the modern era.
I would if it wasn't.
Because I don't think...
Read the room. Read the room.
Well, Vince, he was at a Catholic university. Benedictine.
Why would you go to college if you're not going to work? What's the point?
Yeah, there's a lot of rich kids out there. They just check the box and go.
Sure, but that's not like, ladies, be at home. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you get a whole skill together and learn it and spend a lot of money on it and then be like, hey, the workplace is not for you. What is this, World War II, dude? Like, what the fuck are we doing? All the boys went off to fight the war, so now I got to work your accounting job. Like, it's not what it is.
Even in those times, women stepped up.
They had to, right?
Right? Harrison Butker out here fucking thinking women still can't vote. You know?
Yeah, he's an NFL place kicker. If he wanted to do his job back when this was a normal thing, the quarterback used to kick the ball. I don't know if you know, way back in the day,
that's
like
true.
Fran Tarkenton would kick the ball. Motherfucker doesn't have a job. He wouldn't know what he'd be doing at that time. That's how long ago this was. Yeah.
Threw for 100 yards this game, ran for 4, kicked 3 field goals.
It's like, it's so fucking ass backwards. And also shout out to Richie for sending this to me. I've given him so many shout outs. But the minute he sent that to me, I'm like, got it, done, easy, strange and unusual, finish.
Salutations, Richard.
Salutations, Richard. Salutations.
All right, let's talk about some football.
Shall we?
Of which, so, I mean, Vince, the Bears right now, you know, there's a lot of coverage, watching a lot of things. Caleb Williams, rookie minicamp, Roma Dunze. Teams coming together, you know. Yeah. Say it in more Chicago way. I don't think
Roma
I could.
Dunze is the best possible name for a fan base like Chicago.
Oh, it's great. I mean,
Caleb Williams over to a Dunze over there. He caught the ball. Oh,
just like I can't wait for the call-ins listening to Chicago local radio, which I do. Like, so, like I just can't wait to hear the call-ins. Like, if the Bears have a bad game. You know, the problem was they didn't get a Dunze the ball more. And if they would have, it would have been a different outcome. And they have too many weapons on the team, Karen. So I can hear the conversation right now.
You're so fucking good at that. It's crazy.
In my head. Well, it's like I grew up there.
True.
But I do believe this is a different feeling all in all. But to kind of turn back the hands of time, we did draft another quarterback.
Really?
And yeah.
Cool.
Newsflash. We were really excited about it. We thought it was like the thing. And then like they really drafted a generational talent this time.
It was literally almost the precipice of our show. In a lot of ways. We popped off on TikTok getting excited for Jay Fields. We end up doing the show together, and now we're over 3 years later doing it. And guess what? One thing worked out and one thing didn't. You can guess which one it is. It's this.
This thing worked out. A Bears quarterback didn't. No shit.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. In the course of time, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Now, an article recently came out on Bleacher Report. The man who wrote it is slipping me. What's his name?
I'll figure it out. It is Timothy Rapp.
Timothy Rapp. But Timothy Rapp.
Reading Bleacher Report, watching Timothy Rapp. Okay.
Over here popping Saran Wrap. Bronson.
Saran Wrap that Timothy bought. Yeah. Okay, go.
I prefer bubble wrap because I pop it.
We're in the
like
infinite Bronson loop.
Stop it. It's Bronson. Squirrel. All right. So recently, Timothy Rapp.
Oh boy.
Wrote an article about the dynamic of the QB room when Justin Fields was drafted. And if we look back on that time, Justin Fields was drafted during a time when Big Dick Nick was on the team, a.k.a. Nick Foles, and the redhead himself, the ginger, Andy Dalton. Mitch had been shipped off to Pittsburgh. So still the Nagy era. And they draft Fields, come in, they trade up to get him. All that happy good shit happens with the Giants. And Fields comes in. Looked very unenthusiastic about being drafted by the Bears, for the record. He got drafted, and it was like, all right, sweet. All right, this guy's excited to be here.
Ooh,
cool.
Exciting.
And needless to say, that energy translated to the QB room. There's now in this article stating that, and I'm paraphrasing, Fields wasn't very interested in being there. He was disinterested in learning the playbook, and Nick Foles was trying to be a mentor and a teacher to him, and basically he could give a fuck.
Let me give you a
And Nick
couple
Foles
quotes.
just got to a point. Nick Foles has got to a point where he said, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Quote.
Fine. Super Bowl winning quarterback, Nick Foles. Creating the quarterback room was, quote, fucking toxic as hell. There were several arguments amongst the QBs. One per source, Foles was trying to teach something to Fields in the QB room, and upon turning towards the rookie, Foles realized Fields wasn't even paying attention. Head down. At that point, he was done playing mentor. The two could not stand each other. Nick Foles wasn't any good on the Bears. Obviously, he won a Super Bowl in kind of a fluke year, crazy year for the Eagles. Amazing. Everybody remembers it. If you're Justin Fields and you're coming in and Nick Foles is there, like, you have to take some advice from the guy. And when I heard this initially, and even you said it, you're like, I'm not sure if it's real. We had to look it up. It seemed like something that wasn't true because Fields was always kind of like, I'm here for the team. Always like kind of you doing that. Obviously, that's, PR training shit, whatever. This seems real to me now. And first problem is, why have three guys that expect to start on a team at the same time? Like, if you sign a Chase Daniel, he knows he's the backup. Andy Dalton thinks he's going to start at that point. Nick Foles, Super Bowl winning, thinks he's going to start after his Jags run. And then Fields comes in, top draft pick, thinks he's going to start. Bad thing off the bat. Horrible coaching. We already knew that. Even though Nagy's some QB guru. Obviously not the case. And they were all gone the next year, which all made sense. I just think the whole entire place was just a toxic hell zone.
Is a part of me feels like Fields kind of knew what he was getting himself into. He kind of understood that chances are this regime was going to be out either way.
Yep.
And he was coming into a shit show. And there was no weapons on that team to speak of. It was kind of just not the perfect scenario for a young quarterback to come into. Certainly not the scenario Caleb Williams is coming into. So maybe a part of him was just like, well, fuck it. There's going to be somebody new here next year. I'm not going to kill myself to learn everything.
That's so fucked up for a rookie, though, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Well, I think a part of me is starting to believe that Ryan Poles knew what he was coming into and just needed that first year to really suck.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see what this guy can go do. Let's see what he's about. They won some games, granted. They won that, 3 games that shit season he stepped in with Flus. Yeah. And then last year they won 7 games when they actually surrounded him with some resemblance of a weapon and DJ Moore and a better defense. But they did ultimately come to the decision to move on from him for a reason. And then we can kind of put it together and read through the facade now that chances are they never really believed in him. I just think they were building towards ultimately what was going to happen.
Well, and it was poor timing too. I mean, every coach wants their guy, and if you don't draft that guy and he's not working out, it's an easy jump off. Like, I never wanted him in the first place. I mean, we were obviously overly positive about it, but the Fields thing just didn't work, and it was obvious, and I'm happy that we moved on. All of that is true. Just bad timing. Bad timing to move up for a quarterback. Like, at both times we moved up, it didn't work out too well. Mitch Trubisky one was a lot more egregious, obviously. But the beauty of it is, Mike, is that none of them are on the team anymore. Thank fucking God.
It's true. And what is also the beauty of it is that there's no more games. There's no more baby games. Like, Eberflus came out recently and they asked him about, like, oh, so what's different about Caleb to Justin? And I mean, it was just like every adjective in the book.
Yeah.
That, like, it looks like he had a thesaurus in front of him, and he's like, he's really smart, funny, and deliberate with his teammates. And he just, like, kept going and going and going. Now, I understand, but what I'm getting at is, it's like, there's no question. And they asked, is he the starter? He's like,
yeah,
100%.
Right. They're not doing the whole wait behind the guy shit. They're not doing the Atlanta Falcons thing. This is one of the reasons I really hate Chicago sports writers. Amongst many other things, a lot of them really piss me off. some of the questions, like they asked Caleb Williams, it's just like, why do you think you're better than Justin Fields? And he's like, I'm not going to compare myself. Like, why are you starting this shit off the bat? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, Chicago's so obsessed with, like, comparisons and why are you different and all this shit. Instead of letting, like, I understand sports writers got to make a story, but they're trying to make a story by catching the new guy into saying something he's going to regret later. It's fucking stupid. If you're not rooting for the team, if you're in a situation like this, like, root for the team. Ask him questions about his preparation. Don't try to get him on a gotcha and then pull it and put it in the fucking Chicago Tribune so he hates Chicago. Like, it drives me bonkers, man. Bonkers.
Comes with the territory. I feel like there's always going to
But
be
it
a handful
shouldn't.
of writers who ask clown questions.
Yeah, just assholes.
But it's major market shit. New York, I mean, they come straight out and ask Zach Wilson, like,
How many good
why are you
quarterbacks
the
have
guy?
we seen in New York?
Not a lot.
I can't think of one. Eli Manning was pretty good, but he just won when it mattered.
Vince, Eli Manning won 3 Super Bowls, so
Dos.
yeah.
Dos.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And also
2.
he threw
He
the
still
same
won
amount of
2 Super-
interceptions and touchdowns. Right, that's what I'm saying. But, like, that's not. Eli Manning, great runs. Eli Manning, Super Bowl winning quarterback. Eli Manning might be a Hall of Famer. My thought is that's, like, the best we've seen in 25 years now. The Jets never have one. And Eli Manning was very much, like, didn't care about the press, didn't care about any of that shit. Very much not outside of that realm. And then the minute he retires, he's all over the fucking place because he's like, oh, now I can speak freely. Like, he played the card well, but he's also, like, half of the seasons he played, he sucked ass. And then half of them, he was just caught on fire God. Like, it's just not conducive for a consistent rise in a quarterback. And, like, Boston could be that way too, and Brady fought through that shit. So it's not impossible. It's just like you're setting this guy up for failure, like, all the time. Mitch Trubisky was set up for failure. I won't care what anybody says.
Mitch Trubisky had one really good year and then got in a way. I mean, the people figured out what Nagy was doing, and Nagy didn't have the same guys he had in KC. And I think Nagy will always be a really good coordinator. He'll never have a shot at being a head coach in the NFL again.
Well, and I'm more so saying,
I don't think that'll
like,
happen.
In a major market, moving up to the 2nd overall pick, giving a lot of draft capital away for a guy that no one expected to be drafted there, and then you're like, go ahead and succeed. Like, it's an impossible task. In Chicago, it's impossible.
Ryan Pace was an absolute clown
Still
and a
is.
stooge and the rest of it, and that whole thing was a mutiny to fail from the jump. Granted, there was one year the defense got him really close to an NFC championship game, and I thought that if they did play the Rams in that NFC championship game, it would look a lot different.
You talking about the double
Then it
doink?
did. Yeah.
Fuck the double doink.
I still believe if the Bears win that game, there is a definite shot they go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
They were that hot and looked that good that year. The defense was on fire. It's just they got out coached.
Was that a Brady
Nagy
Super
got
Bowl?
out coached.
Was that his last one in New England, or was it
No,
2018?
that was the Rams. That was the Rams New England Super Bowl. That was
Oh.
the same year the Rams had that egregious PI call that wasn't called, and then the rule came
New
in
Orleans?
after Sean Payton walked enough. Yep, same year.
Well,
Same year.
why think about the past, Mike, when we can think about the future?
Speaking of which, Caleb Williams out in his number 18. I dig it. No one. I've never seen a quarterback on the Bears wear 18 except Kyle Orton, which is kind of forgettable.
Oh, I saw 18 and I was like, he's Peyton Manning. That was the first thing I thought.
Right. You don't think Kyle Orton. You think Peyton Manning.
Right.
So with that, he's wearing Manning's number because
like
Kyle Orton, good dude, but gone. And
not dead, just not on the team.
Yeah, it looks good. It seems good. It seems right. I mean, he's throwing in the rookie workouts and his A1 wide receivers are there. You got DJ Moore, you got Keenan Allen. And I know I've been skeptical about the Keenan Allen thing. Still kind of am. But either way, the three of them are all there. And it just, my dick is kind of hard. I have nothing more to say.
Yeah, no, it's
I'm a little. I gotta have Chubb going now.
it's sports horny season, 100%. I'm like a dog in heat, dude. I'm just running up the poles and humping it and shit. Yeah. Arr, arr. Yeah, literally. This is the best time to be a team with a new quarterback. It always is. We were doing the same shit with Justin Fields. We're like, oh my god, he looks so good. He looks so fast. This is the time to get excited because they're not gonna do anything to piss you off in the next week. So enjoy it while it lasts and hope for the best.
I will say I've watched all the press conferences. I'm in on this. He just how he carries himself far more confident than Justin Fields. Justin Fields just kind of seemed like a but he's very personable. He seems to be a good leader, and he says all the right things. Now he's got to go put it on the field. So
I'm with you, but it's more. I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying this to the general public. Just temper your expectations. There's no defense. That's all I'm saying. There's no defense. Once the defense comes in,
once the defense comes in, then if they're like he looks like dog shit in training camp, then we have a whole other list of issues. So right now, easy to get excited, but to Vince's point, we got to play against some people in order to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Well, Vince, the NFL schedule was released after we wrap up our entire Bears corner there. Little.
Oh, we can do the claw now, dude.
We've been doing. I hit a guy recently out in public with a Bears hat on. He probably looked at me like I had 10 heads. I was like,
you have been doing that since the precipice of Bears corner, though. You've been doing the claw every time. Do you like the claw? Thoughts?
Love the claw.
Some general consensus doesn't agree with you.
Some could say we started the claw.
Some could say that.
So
I'm not going to take credit for it because I don't think Caleb Williams has ever even seen our names or our show. But we did start it.
I bet you he has.
Dude,
he knows.
You think?
He knows who we are. Yeah.
That'd be cool. No, the general consensus disagrees with you. A lot of people don't like the claw for some reason. I think it can be a little tacky a little bit, but if they're winning and doing the claw, then that's immediately cool. That's all they need to do is just win.
Fuck, I hope so. All right. Either way, the schedule got released.
Thoughts?
Can
I make one point about the schedule release and why I hate it?
Yeah.
I hate how they're like, schedule release is on Wednesday, and then Monday they tease 2 games, and then Tuesday they're like, here's 4 games that are happening, and you're like, hey, guys, just give us the whole thing. Like, we're still going to have to wait until fucking September to see it happen. Just give us it all one day. Like, why do you need to tease 2 games in, like, Indonesia? You're like, cool. Like, give me the whole thing, please.
Stop making the blood rush to my shot. I get excited. Right?
I am excited, but it's just like, why is Roger Goodell teasing us like a 2-bit hua?
Because this is what he does. This is the NFL in a whole.
I hate it.
With all the Prime games, and now Netflix is getting a fucking game.
I hate it.
And Peacock has a game. And
My what?
Before you know it. Oh. And before you know it, I mean, HGTV is going to have exclusive rights to a fucking game.
Oh, that'd be sick, dude. The fucking House Hunters crew, like, call the game.
No, either that or Ina Garden.
Ina Garden, dude? She's Food Network, man. It's Ina.
Well, is it Ina Garden?
Yeah, my mom fucks with Ina Garden. She loves Ina Garden.
Is she in the garden? Well, Jeffrey and I are having a Super Bowl.
She is in the garden. She do be in the garden, though, dude.
She do be in the garden, and
also,
her husband may or may not be with a mistress. Just saying.
Jealous of Jeffrey myself, though. To go home, like, here's your gourmet meal. Like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, Jeffrey. Get in those inner guts.
Hey, yo.
All right, back to the Bears schedule.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Vince? It seems about right.
I'd say
people are going to say it's weak, but
I'd say there's reasonably 9 games where I'm like, we should definitely win. It's a lot of toss-ups. The beauty of it is the Bears were the worst team in the division last year, so their strength of schedule is a lot less. What I can say is we're playing the 49ers, and there's just about 0% chance we're going to beat them. I think it's also unlikely we beat the Lions. Jared Goff, congrats on the new extension. That's awesome. Outside of that, like, I think we could take one from Green Bay, hopefully. I think we beat teams like the Colts and the Panthers and the Jags. Like, one thing that's cool is that Caleb Williams is playing against every first-round draft pick quarterback since 2021 in this run. So this is just Caleb versus everybody. That's essentially what's happening right now, outside of Fields.
Okay, let's start at week 1 and let's work our way out. Let's go
Okay.
game to game to game. We'll get Vince's take, W, Mike's take, W.
Yep.
And then we'll see how we end up, okay?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. All right, so week 1, we got the Titans at home. Don't know. Will Levis could be starting quarterback. We also have Calvin Ridley coming to that team. They draft an offensive tackle in the first round who's supposedly a
Still
dog.
got D-Hop. Dub.
Bear down, taking it as well. Dub. All right, week 2.
L.
The Texans in Texas, a.k.a. Houston. Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. You're calling an L.
Yeah, they're a squad, bro. I don't think a second game quarterback's winning 2 in a row, especially against a team like this, let alone all of the additions they made in the offseason. Like, they're primed to go to a Super Bowl, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, or at least the AFC Championship. Like, they might be the new Bills.
I'm not ready to crown them quite yet, but I do agree with you.
Danielle
Hunter, Jeff Okudah, and a lot of people are sleeping on that pickup for them. I think Jeff Okudah adds so much depth to that secondary, and it's already strong, and now he doesn't have to be like the guy.
Joe Mixon, second-year Stroud.
Can we talk about the downfall of Dameon Pierce and how shitty he was last year? Like, if there is a closer thing to Anthony Thomas I've ever seen in the NFL since Anthony Thomas, that's about it. His rookie year, he was a dog. Everybody was high on him.
Yeah.
Coming out of Florida, looked like an absolute just beast.
Yeah.
And then last year, just lackluster.
Yeah, it was Devin Singletary time in Houston last year, essentially all year. Great fantasy pickup, but yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame. Maybe he can bounce back this year and do something that's worth a shit. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So we're both going now. So the Bears start the season 1-1. Week 3, we go to Indianapolis and play the Colts. Anthony Richardson led Colts recently. Re-signed Michael Pittman. Nothing really too crazy on the free agency front for them. Had a strong draft. Your thoughts?
There's a couple in here that we're just going to lose. It's just going to happen. Like, there's no...
Mm-hmm.
This feels like a weird little loss to me. We start the year 1-2. People are like, "Uh-oh, trouble in paradise," and then we could turn it around later. So I think we might accidentally drop this. We might get a little too big for our britches.
See, I think we win this game. I think we go to Indianapolis, we get back in the right time zone, we're feeling good, even though Texas and Indy share the same time zone. But we're gonna be just fine. I think we take this game. I think Flus goes back home and fucks them up.
Yeah.
All right. Week 4. We have the Rams at home.
What a weird team.
Such a weird team.
I like to think they're good. Stafford's playing. Puka year 2. Lose Aaron Donald, which I think is going to be bigger than people are even thinking about it. Like, I know he's obviously the best defensive player in the year, but like every year, but the middle of their line is going to be sadly suffering. I think if we lose to Indianapolis that we should be better than, we might be worse than the Rams, but God damn it, we might win. We're 2-2 now, is my thought.
See, this is the game I'm unsure about. Granted, the retirement of Aaron Donald is a reasonable thought. But then again, Stafford's still good.
Mm-hmm.
And that team, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp's going to have a comeback year. You have to assume that.
Oh, yeah.
They've bolstered up the offensive line.
Higbee.
See, I think this game I'm leaning more towards the loss at home, hate to say it, than the opposite. Because not only that, but Shane Waldron is a tree guy under McVay guy. And McVay rarely loses to his disciples.
Yeah.
So
even
that's kind of where my head's at. He knows the offense.
Right.
So they know how to plan against us and what chances are what we're going to do and how we're going to work.
Okay, so we're 2
So
and
that's
2.
my thought process. So I'm saying 2-2, and either way we
same.
cut it 2-2.
Yep.
Now week 5,
Dub.
Carolina, another home game. Yeah, short
Dub.
Super Bowl.
If we don't win this, we're
It's the
pieces
short-
of shit. Dub.
Yeah, because we fleeced them in that trade. Hit the bell, fleece. Now with that, I do believe this is a really good game, and between DJ Moore, the pick that you stole, and then everything you've obtained from the Carolina Panthers,
Yeah.
we got to beat the fucking brakes off them. Give me the Bears by 30.
Yep.
All right. Week 6. Go to little London town, yeah?
London town. So this is an away game upon away game for us. Like the Jaguars might as well be from London. Dub, baby. Give us this win. I'm in. Give it to us.
Yeah. Do we think this is the final year of Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville?
No. They're sticking on this
When
forever.
you think so?
Yeah, and he also had a
'Cause
good
he had a
season 2
shit
years
year.
ago.
Shit year, to be fair.
Brought him to the playoffs 2 years ago, down year this year, bring him back again. I don't think they're giving up on this guy. I mean, he's Caleb Williams before Caleb Williams, so I
True.
think he goes again.
Okay. Like it. All right. Yeah, give me the Bears.
Bye
the
week,
Bears.
do we win it?
Yeah, fuck yeah, we win that
We
bye
win
week.
that bye week.
All right, but at this stage of the game, and I'm not trying to put the Maloik on anything, but how many injuries do you think we have?
Probably the entire team.
Will Keenan Allen be present after week 7?
One of
Or
our
is
three
he
three
hobbled?
receivers are hobbled. For sure.
Okay.
I don't know who. Probably him, but one of our 3 are. Because you can't live a life where that doesn't happen.
True. Okay. All right. Week 8 away.
One versus
QB 1
two.
and 2 matchup.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts? 2 Heisman winners back-to-back years
I
face off
believe-
against each other in Washington.
I believe this is a Monday night matchup, if I'm not mistaken. If we go back 1 year and think about the Monday night matchup from last year and how fucking horrible. Do you remember that? Commanders Bears Monday night last year. It was like 13-10 or something. Like, it was so bad. It was
No, it wasn't. It was actually the game Justin Fields popped off for a shit ton of yards.
No,
with
that
DJ
was when
Moore.
Carson Wentz was playing for the Commanders.
No, dude.
Or was that 2 years ago?
That's 2 years ago.
Because the
Last
Carson
year
Wentz
when the
Bears game was bad.
Last year when the Bears played the Commanders, okay, it was the weekend of the wedding, my wedding. And
Yes.
It
I was
was a
thinking of
hell
2
of a
years
game.
ago. Yeah.
no, it was in October and the Bears put the brakes on them. They
Yep.
fucked them up.
Like that.
I mean, they didn't have an answer for him.
Fuck, man. I'm going to give him too many wins. I'm going to give him a dub here.
Okay.
That leaves us 5-2.
Okay. All right. So we're 5-2 to start the year. We are
That's
not Bears
wrong.
fans. All right.
That's wrong.
All right. Leading into week 9, 2 away games back to back. Brock Purdy.
We lose this game.
Cali.
So clearly lost.
we totally
so
lose
clearly
this game.
lost.
All right. So now we're 5-3. Week 10 at home. Now we start getting into the meat and potatoes of the other first round draft pick of this draft, Drake May.
Is it Brissett, though?
All right.
Is Drake May in by this time?
By week 10, I don't think there's a shot in hell Jacoby Brissett's starting.
Okay. I think we win this
I think
regardless.
eventually.
At
Yeah, I
home.
think we win this regardless. Home game, Bears, bear down, week 10. It's going to be chilly. It's going to be feeling nice. We're going to be the mid to late October at this point.
Yep.
So let's get it. All right, week 11 at home. Jordan Love, Green Bay. I hate this game. I hate this game.
I hate it.
I hate this game.
I hate where
because
it is.
we-
I hate that we're at home before we play them away at the end of the year, like every fucking year.
They
Last
always-
week is
they
always
do this.
it's always at Lambeau. It's always the last week, and it's always at fucking Lambeau. And we always say we're gonna win this one, and then we don't. And then we go to Lambeau in week 18, and we're already fucking defeated. And then they beat us again in week 18. Week 11 at home. Fuck it. Give it to us. We're probably gonna lose the last matchup with them. I'll take the dub, but I'm probably wrong. 6-4, 6-3 now. Fuck me. I hate it. I hate it.
Okay. Okay, so 6-4. We're trending in the right bus.
6-3.
Week
I hate it.
12.
Oh, I hate it.
All right, 6-3. We're trending on the bus. We're on the bus. The wheels go round and round. Week 12. Give us the Vikings at home with a young, handsome lad coming from the most Caucasian family on the planet, J.J. McCarthy, coming back to his hometown.
We put 150% effort into the Packers game, and this is an all-time letdown spot. I think we lose this one.
No shot. We haven't lost to the Vikings at home in a long time.
Right.
So I am rolling. I'm rolling with this game.
7-3 by week 12.
Just saying.
Mike,
we're
come
7-3, babe.
Come on.
There we go.
Okay.
I'm telling you. Here we
All
go.
right.
Here we go.
Yep.
All right, week 13.
Loss.
The 7-3 Chicago Bears team away in Detroit Motor City. Loss?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, all right. So, all right, see, we're getting closer to sucking. Now we're 7-4. All right, week 14, coming to my neck of the woods, AZ, baby. Vinny, you going to come into town?
I want to. I'd like to.
You going to come?
I'd like to.
Okay. Then you're coming, okay?
Okay.
You're coming. The 3rd of November, we're going to the Dome. We're going to give some shit away to the fans. Mark your calendars, people. Taxi Squad Podcast will be present. So with that,
L.
who wins the game?
We take another
What?
L. Yeah. We go
What?
we go on a 2-game losing streak. Chicago starts starting shit on fire, even though we're still a winning team. I got us at 7-5 at this point.
See, I'm taking the dub. I'm going 8-4.
That's
We're
fucking
8-4.
No, you're 9-3 right now, Mike.
No, I said we lose
To the Lions?
I said we lose.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, 8-4. Okay.
I was with you.
Okay.
All right, so we're 8-4. There's no shot. There's no shot. All right. Week 15. We have.
Wait, you said we beat the Vikings too.
Yeah.
I said we lose to them.
I said we lose to the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, right. Okay. All right, we're back on the train. We're back. We're back, baby.
Okay. Hear me out.
Vikings
Hear
week
me out.
15
See you. Yeah.
in Minneapolis. Dub.
See, this is the game I think we lose.
We're swapping Vikings games. Dub.
We're swapping Vikings games. See? Okay, so now we're at the same boat.
9-5.
Okay. 9-5. All right, now we go back. Okay, now Lions again. We got a lot of division games back to back to back to back.
Hell.
So now we got the Lions cold going to be. I think this is a Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, but in a dome, correct?
No,
Oh no, we're at home.
We're at
Ho 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 ho.
it's going to be football personified. So, with all that, your thoughts? Bears home Thanksgiving.
I'm eating dubs, baby. Give it to us.
Eating dubs. Yeah,
Caleb Williams loves the national spotlight. Come on now.
Let's get it. Okay, week 17. Seahawks, day after Christmas, Amazon Prime game.
Dub. Eat them. Give it to me.
Dub. Okay, Shane Waldron. All right. And then the final game of the season, the Packers and the Chicago Bears, week 18.
L. We don't win this game, Mike. We don't win this game. We never win this game.
So we do put up a 10-win season.
Yep. That's where I think we are.
Season, babe.
I think we're at a 10-win if everything goes correctly. I don't think we win more than that.
We go full circle. We win 3 more games than we won last year. If we're lucky, maybe we get to 11. Now, with all of this thought process behind it, granted, things have to go our way. Injuries, team staying healthy, all that. Is the season a disappointment if they win 8?
No.
If they win 8, is it a disappointment?
No, if he plays well. If Caleb Williams literally looks like he doesn't know what he's doing and we win 7 or 8 games, then people are going to be pissed. I think it's mostly like, what does the eye test tell you? If he's good, but we lose some on some shitty calls and whatever, then I'll be fine with it. But it all depends on how he plays and how the offense seems to be gelling. Like, if we're throwing screen passes for 5 weeks straight, and somehow we're winning, I'm still going to be mad. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
If we're running screen passes, if we're running screen passes on 3rd and 22 again, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah.
And do you think this is our first year as a franchise with a 4,000+ yard quarterback?
Not year one. Maybe next year.
Okay. So I could see the city burning down if we win less than 7. And yeah, that's all I have. Now, the whole thing will be lit on fire because everybody will be like, you had a guy in the building that won 7 games and you got off of him and blah, blah, blah.
Nah.
But we can remember that
Pro
last
argument.
season, I mean, we had games in the bag that we just gave away.
Yeah, sure.
Gave away.
Yeah, I mean, you can't put undue expectations on a rookie quarterback. He's going to make rookie decisions. It is what it is. People are going to get mad over it, but you just got to remember he's a fucking rookie, and that's how rookies go. And that's that on that.
Brother! In other news, the Battlehawks lost this weekend to all of our St. Louis fans. Sorry. You know, Espen doesn't do a very good job of covering the UFL.
They have no
XFL,
interest, man.
That's their baby.
No interest.
It's like the last article that came out on ESPN about the UFL is about AJ McCarron signing a deal with the Battlehawks.
Right, and getting rid of his Bengals one.
That's it.
San Antonio is second, 5-2 as well in the XFL conference. It looks like the team to beat right now is the Birmingham Stallions, 7-0, 201 points for, tops the league in that, 115 points against, tops the league in that. They're both the most scoring and the least scored against team in the UFL. Kind of wish I landed on Birmingham. Alabama, stand up for your boys.
Yeah, no, I agree. I look at this as a way of saying that the Battlehawks aren't as bad as people make them out to be because that was a close game. I mean, they only lost by 4 points.
Mike, they're on top of their conference. What do you mean that people think people know they're good?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, people think
we were
they're
there.
good.
I'm just saying, Vince. There's a lot of people against them out there. There's a lot of people.
Where
a lot of
they?
people are saying the Brahmas are better than the Battlehawks. I haven't met them.
I will.
But they're there.
I will say that. And anybody that the St. Louis game, this isn't against you. We spun a wheel, man. And I got the Brahmas, and I got to stand up for my boys. But.
And I got the Battlecocks. Right?
Yeah, you got lucky is what you got.
Come on. I didn't get a chance to watch the game. I just, it was Mother's Day.
Oh, you're just like ESPN.
Sad.
You're not even paying attention.
No.
You don't even care about your guys. It's unbelievable.
We're a podcast of the people.
I've watched every minute of every Brahmas game this year.
No, you haven't.
Have I watched one?
If you're on the YouTube and you saw Vince's, I've watched a couple of quarters of the St. Louis Battlecocks.
Live, literally. Me too. I've watched more.
No, on television as well.
Okay. I don't know. It smells like
All
liar.
right.
It smells like liar in here, Mike. Let's talk about baseball.
My pants are not on fire. Let's talk about some baseball. So Vince, the White Sox are on a semi-heater.
Yeah, it'll end. Fun, I guess.
That'll happen.
Yeah, Tommy Pham, what an addition. You can't get mad at that. They're still a bad team. Gavin Sheets with the most egregious error of all time yesterday. I fucking hate this team. They drive me nuts. Every time somebody asks me about them, knowing that I'm a fan of them, I give them the same bullshit answer where I'm like, well, no one's going to spend on the team, and Reinsdorf is a cheap piece of shit, and I hate him more than anybody else in the world. If I had a hit list, I'd have one name, but I don't, so don't come for me, cops. Thank you.
Vince, you just got to let the world and energies, right? Just breathe.
Who the fuck? Where did you get the energies? My ass.
Fine. Energies,
read my tarot cards, Mike. Read my tarot cards for me.
Take him out. You let the world take him out.
Who is
he's
this
already
man?
on borrowed time.
Who is this man?
Talking about a guy by the name of JR. Oh, did you hear this? The Detroit Tigers are potentially interested in a Chicago Bulls executive. I forget the name.
Okay. Good luck, guys.
I need to find. Yeah, like I'm not kidding. They're interested.
Which one? GM, Karnasovis, maybe Mark Eaton or whatever his name is.
No, they're interested.
That I got.
I'm gonna find this out, but keep going about the White Sox.
All right. No. I hate the White Sox.
Come on,
I'm out on the White Sox.
Yes, you can. Hey, Andrew Vaughn hit a 3-run bomb last night.
Great, he learned how to hit. That's great.
Which was a different. Fetty looks amazing, winning. You know, 3 of his last 5. The guy looks fantastic. He has under a 3 ERA. Looks.
I'm not
great.
even hating on the players. I'm hating on the lack of commitment by the entire fucking team. I'm hating on the training staff. I'm hating on just about everything. I think overall, it's like it sucks having to follow 2 teams with this guy owning the team when you know exactly what the playbook is. And the Bulls are probably going to blow it up and rebuild. And you're like, great, fucking great. They rebuild, they get to a point where they're decent, and then they won't spend any money, so it doesn't matter. Luis Robert, probably gone by next year. They're going to get a haul for him, and they're not going to do anything because they don't develop players. So we are just watching the same shit over and over again. I mean, we said, verbatim, 2022. That's our year. Oh, okay. One more year. We were good in 2022. 2023, that's our year. Worst team in fucking baseball. This year, same shit. So, yeah, go on a couple of heaters, get everybody all excited again, and then go piss poor once July comes around. You know how this is going to go, dude.
Hey, TLR told me we might
Shut
surprise
up.
people. And I think we're in that window of surprising people, even though we're still the worst team in baseball with 14 wins. But we won today. We won yesterday. Hey, if we win tomorrow, it's a winning streak. Go White Sox. All right.
You're correct.
Now, the Cubs, regardless of having a slew of injuries, are still only 2 games out in the NL Central.
To the Reds,
which is truly impressive.
Right?
No, the Brewers are still atop that division.
How?
Yes.
They lost their ace.
It doesn't matter. I mean, look at the Cubs right now. They're not lighting the world on fire with the injuries. Nico Horner goes down. Cody Bellinger's down.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people down right now. You know, that lighter kid. Do you know that the Cubs right now do not even have one lefty reliever in that entire bullpen?
If you got a bunch of good righties, you don't need a lefty. I've always been a component. I've always been a component of if you could throw the ball hard and well, it doesn't matter what arm it comes out of. I understand like the matchup things, and it's become less of a thing recently than it was before since you have to keep them in for 3. But yeah, I don't like if you're good, you're good. If you're bad, you're bad. If you're better against lefties, that's fine. But there's some lefties that are better against righties because they can get the ball to go in on them.
Wait, are you saying that's how baseball works?
That's not how baseball works usually. You usually want a lefty-lefty matchup or a righty-righty matchup, not a lefty versus righty. Some guys got those sick-ass sliders that go in on the hands, and that's what you want to pitch against them. So if obviously they're playing pretty well. Maybe they would like another lefty reliever, but fuck it. If it's working, it's working, dude.
Well, right now, as we speak, since the Cubs did clearly take a game tonight and Milwaukee won a game, so they both win this evening. Now the Cubs are a game and a half out of the NL Central with a completely obliterated roster.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy to me. So, see, here's the difference, right? Here is the true difference of 2 separate teams who just, I don't get it.
I do. There's one owner that will pay for stuff, and there's one owner that won't.
Now, one thing I would like to point out, and I don't know if anybody's got a chance to watch him, Shota Imanaga.
Yeah, he's got a .96 ERA this year.
He's a lefty with a splitter.
Mm-hmm.
It's insanity. I haven't seen a lefty with a splitter in the MLB ever.
To answer your question, no, I haven't. Extremely rare. Just doing a little reconnaissance, a little research on it. He figured out how to throw it 5 years ago in Japan, my man, and it seems to be paying dividends in the MLB right now. So, I mean, most times they would try to throw a fork ball or something like that, but splitter on a lefty, .96 ERA, maybe we'll start seeing this more often in the MLB.
It is a trailblazing feat in my eyes. I mean, really, the guy has separated himself as opposed to any other starter in the MLB as we speak right now, as far as lefties go, and he's kind of untouchable. Now, usually after the All-Star break, there's a shift. You get enough film on a guy.
Oh
and
yeah.
then things start to change. But hell, right now, he's single-handedly, as a starter, keeping them in every game. Now, when they do get everybody back, which it will happen, and whether that's 4 or 6 weeks, whatever that's going to be, Pico Armstrong is a surprise addition to this team.
Awesome.
I can't believe we're
So
talking about
fun.
this right now. He actually
We're
just
a national podcast, all right? We talk about everybody.
yeah, he just marked the fastest first to third time in like MLB history.
He didn't even tear a hamstring. What a concept.
Kind of interesting. Yeah. Oh my God, an outfielder that's not made of glass.
What a concept.
To that, I do believe this team has the ability to compete in the Central. Do you believe they will make added additions in order to compete this year as we start to approach the All-Star break and the trade deadline?
That's tough because they're a weird team. They're like half young and half old. I know Bellinger re-signed because of that whole rigmarole in the offseason, and he seems to like Chicago a lot. Enough, like, they got a decent farm system still, so enough to, like, maybe make some small moves, but I don't see them bringing in, like, a bona fide slugger at the deadline this year.
What about Eloy?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Just middle of the road, often injured and low price point. Yeah, I can see that.
If he's a DH and his only expectation is to hit the fucking piss out of the baseball, what
does
a better
he do
addition
that?
He last night, dude, he hit a ball that was absolutely destroyed.
I did see that. He got a real hold of it, but I mean, he's hitting 221 right now. He's got a 389 slug. Like, you can get that from Nick Madrigal if you want.
Yeah, you got a point. Shout out to White Sox King Nick Madrigal. Now, in other baseball news, Vince, Paul Skenes.
Yeah.
Skeen is making his MLB debut, or did make his MLB debut?
So he did. He hit over 100 like 6 or 7 times. Rain delay took him out of the game, which was fine, but he looks to be a force to be reckoned with. If that arm can hold up, he's a force to be reckoned with this year, man. And moving forward.
You know what's like really cringy for me about this whole thing?
Livy Dunn?
Oh, she's such a looker, but man, this gives me really big Taylor / Kelsey vibes.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what it's going to be. Like, he comes in, the first thing you do is get an interview with Livy Dunn, who he's just dating. I think it's stupid. I never understood the hype with Livy Dunn. She won a national championship, not even being like a starting gymnast, however the fuck that works on the team. So she's literally just famous because she's pretty. So that's fine. Whatever,
and
man.
She has an absolute dumper.
Kind of. I don't know. Maybe not my taste, not my flavor. I think that might be what it is, but I don't know. I don't get it. I think it's fine. I think it's good. I'm happy for them too, whatever. I don't think it's going to be the same as Taylor because Livy Dunn is not Taylor Swift and Paul Skenes is not Travis Kelce.
He does have a mustache. I
That's
guess
true.
That's where the draw comes, right?
Well, and also popular guy, popular girl, that whole thing. I get where it comes from, and a lot of people are saying it, but the NFL polls more people than the MLB. Taylor Swift's more famous. Travis Kelce's one shit. So until that happens, we'll be good.
There's baseball talk.
Yep.
And I will say this. When this whole playoff saga is over of the NBA, we will be far more involved in baseball.
Are you saying we're going to talk about the NBA?
Vince,
yes!
We're about to talk about your favorite thing.
Dude, I feel like we just edged for the first, 3 quarters of this podcast. Just wait until I can talk about the most exciting thing that's going on right now. I understand that hockey's going on. We're going to talk about a little bit of hockey next week. You guys already know that we're not hockey guys, so I don't want to come in here and act like we are. But goddamn it if I'm not a basketball guy. So we laid out all the matchups. I kind of laid them out from least exciting to most exciting. And the first one here, as of less than an hour ago on Wednesday night as we record this, the Celtics have clutched and clinched said series against the Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell Didn't play in Game 4 because of a calf issue. Didn't play in Game 5 because of a calf issue. Donovan Mitchell out of this matchup. There was no shot. There wasn't any shot before, but there's certainly no shot now. Like, that's what it was. Him not coming in. The Celtics housed him today. They just took him. They took a dead dog and shot him behind a building. That's essentially what happened.
This series reminds me a lot of like when the Bulls would play the Heat.
We brought him to 7 one year.
Yeah, I know. But and then there's the other years where we take one halfway through the series and be like, there's hope. And then there's no hope.
Yeah.
So we discussed this a lot. Celtics look to be it in the East.
The Eastern Conference is just, we're right back to where we were before. They're just not as good as the West. Like, if you put the Mavericks, the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves against any one of these teams besides the Celtics, they probably sweep them. Even the Knicks, who I love, and the Knicks are fun, but like, Timberwolves Pacers. Timberwolves Pacers right now, it's probably a 4-game you donezo. In my humble opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. I think you're right. I think the West offensively is far more talented than the East. I think the East brings in far more.
Dude, the Thunder's defense is awesome. They're so
Thunder's defense. I'll tell you what, that team is young, hungry, excited to be where they are. Granted, right now at the half of the Mavericks Thunder game, Game 5 of the series, tied 2-2 in OKC. They are down 10. Although I think for the Thunder, this is right where they want them. Yep. They have the most 10-point comeback from behind wins than any other team the second half of the year.
We're about to get into them, but as far as the Cavs Celtics are concerned, and also the West too has the defensive player of the year in Rudy Gobert. But I say all of this to say this: the Celtics are going to win this series. They already did. Celtics are going to win the next series, and they probably are going to win it pretty convincingly. Like, I don't have any doubt in that. And then they go to the finals, and it's like, okay, like, let's see if they can actually do it. You see who was at Game 4, Mike?
I heard a chess player was sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah, LeBron James, great chess player. Great chess player.
Yeah, he claims to be a wonderful chess player. Doesn't know how to play.
He plays
chess player.
He plays chess with...
Oh, my fuck.
He plays chess with his destinations. LeBron standing ovation in Cleveland, brought him a championship, all that shit we already know. I am more on the LeBron side than I have been in the last 5 years. I'm just kind of like, all right, respect greatness while we got it. I know you're going to hate on it. It is what it is. He's not better than Michael. He never will be. I'm sorry. Get over it. People are saying he's going to go back to Cleveland. Some people are saying, no, he's not. He's just showing up to do that. I think he'll probably stay a Laker, but LeBron going to a single game causes us to do this, and every other place to see him in a game like, oh, God, here we go. Like, it's immediately like LeBron's movement. Where's he going to go? All this shit. He could have just very well been in Cleveland to, go spend some time in his hometown.
Yeah, the boy from Akron wanted to go home, and that's fine. Drinking a bottle of wine on the sidelines.
Yeah. LeBron's a wine guy. We know this, dude.
I understand it, but just how absolutely puke level. You're at a ball game, bro. Don't sit courtside with a bottle of wine.
Oh, I'd do that. It's a power move, bro.
It's a pretentious cock move is what it is, okay?
Yeah,
and it's exactly what he is.
You see who's top tier on the Lakers coach search right now?
Who?
Man by the name of J.J. Redick.
Oh, my God. I just can't with the NBA right now. I really, as far as the rest of the league goes, granted, I love the playoffs, but it's just like, okay, maybe J.J. Redick is a coaching guy. Maybe he is.
I think coaching in the NBA, you're like the 6th most important guy on the staff.
Just because you operate a podcast and talk about the game all the time does not mean you can coach the fucking game. Okay,
I actually think that he would be a good coach. I don't think this is the proper thing to go into. I think you probably agree. Trying to coach the premier player of the last 25 years, you don't get a lot of say. That's essentially J.J. Redick coming over here and sit down and don't say a lot of shit. Like, we've seen this over and over again. We see it with David Blatt. We see it with Darvin Ham. We see it with Tyronn Lue. Same fucking playbook. You come in, you got a bunch of good guys. LeBron runs the team. Something goes wrong. He gets away with it, and the coaches eventually fired as a scapegoat. That's all it is, over and over again.
Usually how it works. We could talk about Bronny James at the
He's in Chicago.
NBA.
He's in my neck of the woods right now playing.
So
at
he's
DePaul.
going to go to the draft. He's going to go to
Confirmed
the draft.
he's getting drafted this year.
Oh my fuck.
He scored 13 points in tonight's scrimmage. He again, I feel bad for the kid. I honestly do. Like you're put in in an impossible situation, and it's hard to hate an 18-year-old that's just trying to go to the NBA draft. Like
I don't hate him.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's hard for me to do so. Like he's gonna take whatever privilege he has to go do it. He's gonna take it. And he's gonna run with it, and I don't blame him for it. What I do hate is seeing on social media like Bronny James making a difference. 2 highlights. He did a floater, and then he had another nice lay-in. And you look at the stats of the game after it, and he scored 4 points. You're like, LeBron James Jr. making a difference by scoring twice, and here's both highlights. Like, that's all it was. So I think it's just like people need to get over that. I do think he's going to be in the NBA. I do think he has the talent to be a decent role player, maybe like a 6th, 7th, 8th man. I don't think he's going to be a starter. Listed at 6'1", not very big. Good basketball IQ, what you expect out of LeBron's son, and that's about it.
He's 6'1" in the NBA. He's going to look like a midget.
6'8" wingspan. I mean, Jalen Brunson's right around there. He's got a good wingspan, and he's a really good defender. So he can play like a role player position, like reasonably.
So my theory is this. Somebody's going to take a flyer on him in the second round, and then he will play in the G League, presumably for the next year or 2 years.
Two-way type deal.
Sell out the G League. Vince and I did that once. No big deal. Taxi Squad podcast.
It was great. There was beer everywhere.
Shout out
to the local Girl Scouts troop for doing the halftime performance. We did not.
By the way, you can pay to sing the national anthem at any G League.
Oh,
game.
we haven't done that. I should do that.
Vince and I are going to do that. Vince and I.
Oh,
Vince,
can you see? Thank you.
That boy can sing.
Got
the voice of an angel. Shit. So I do believe he goes G League, and then whenever it's his time to shine, LeBron may hang it up for now and then come back. I could see that.
Maybe.
Because then he can like decide truly if that's where Bronny needs to be. And so
yeah, I think it's gonna be like I think the whole I'm going to go wherever Bronny goes thing is kind of a farce now, but we're going to have to wait and see that. But that's not what we're focusing on right now, Mike. Right now it's playoff time. And right now a Mavericks Thunder series is going on. Mavericks up 11 right now in the middle of the third quarter. So however this ends, we will be done recording, so we will not know the end of it. But all things I said to say this, tie series at 2-2. The Thunder are so fucking good. They have, and I think I might have said this last week, they have 22 draft picks in the next 7 years or something like that. Something crazy. And their whole team's full already. Like, Shea is a bona fide star. I don't know if you saw this, Shaq and Shannon Sharp are beefing right now.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, Shaq made a diss track on him. Shannon Sharp did come for his neck in like a really unnecessary way. So whatever, it is what it is. But I will say, outside of this game right now where he has 7 points, Chet Holmgren, I've been kind of a hater. I'm like, his size he's too small. He's going to get pushed around. He's been very, very important to this team. Shea's going to do his job. I think I'll give my MVP of this series to a man named Lou Dort. Lou Dort. Defensive god, dude. Lou Dort, he's like, his whole job, because the rest of them can score, and he does score, but his whole job is just defend the best guard on the team. And he's just kind of eating at Kyrie, he's eating at Luka over and over again. And my point of this is going to be, Luka complains all the time. He's definitely a little bit injured. He's definitely over dramatic about some of it too. But he is more or less getting shut down based on what his expectations are generally. And yeah, the Mavs have won 2 and it's tied here, but Lou Dort is the X factor on this team. Because outside of that, like, who do you have that's playing real defense like that? Like, Lou Dort's your man for that.
this team in a whole is really awesome. I think watching them play is exciting. They look like a very good young team that used to be in Oklahoma, but there seems to be far more unity with them. There doesn't seem to be a diva even close to being on this team.
Did you see
Chet
the interview
Holmgren,
after the game the other day?
yeah,
They do interviews
yeah,
together as a fucking team. It's cool.
it's awesome. And like Lou Dort, that guy's a dog, and they love him. They absolutely love him on that team. You can tell he's that type of dude. Jalen Williams, I mean, truly is a bona fide upcoming superstar.
J-Dub, baby.
He can shoot the lights out too, which is insane. Everybody can spot it up in this team, which is impressive. I will say this: if Chet Holmgren can put on about 20 pounds of size, it's a different game.
Oh, the combo of Chet and Shea in the future is going to be spicy.
So what's exciting to say, even if they don't win this series, which the Mavericks look really tough, and this game's not over until it sings, but they are coming for people. Yeah. And you can probably see and read through the weeds that somebody's going to want to go there, whether that's KD, whether that's someone.
Is there room either that for you is the real question.
Don't come in and fuck it up. They have a lot of good draft capital. So right now, it's still a 10-point game as we speak, 62-51, or should I say 11-point game. And I would love to see OKC win this game at home. It would be a true testament to them.
Yeah, I mean, to turn to the Mavericks side, they win if one or two of their stars go off. They have two guys, and then they have a lot of good role players. That's how it works.
No. Here's how they win, Vince. They win if they can make their free throws.
No,
because
okay, that's bullshit.
So many
on
opportunities
game,
at the fucking charity strike.
Right.
I mean.
Which I agree with generally, but did you see the rest of the game the other night? Did you see the rest of it? Like, Luka Doncic played like ball sack the other day. And they were still down 4, and PJ Washington misses his free throws. Like, it is what it is.
He's not playing at 100%. That's for sure, right? So Luka's not healthy right now.
You want to know why they lost,
try and
Mike?
Take him away, that's...
They lost because Luka had a triple-double, yes, but 18 points. Kyrie went 9-9-1. That's why they lost. Because together they scored 17 points.
They're forcing the game through him and Penny Hardaway Jr. They really are forcing the game through Tim Hardaway.
And Fernie? Why is he here?
Never mind.
No, I'm with you. 100%.
I got excited with the Hardaways.
And no, I mean, PJ Washington's playing his dick off. PJ Washington should not be as important as it is here. You got a strobe light going behind you right now, and I love it. You look like you're raging.
Do I?
Do you see that? Yeah, the light's flickering. It's like...
Oh, it's because of the fan. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. I like it. Keep it. You're just raging in the club right now. Mikey in the club. Okay. One thing I'd like to say, too, Derek Lively rookie, Derek Lively jammer, slamma-jamma king. They were employing the hack-a-shack on Derek Lively. I don't know if you saw this, but they were like, Lively's not going to make his free throws. They fouled him, and he was missing some free throws. Like, free throws is definitely a thing on that team. I'm with you there. But if Kyrie Irving doesn't score in double digits, Kyrie Irving is going to lose the game for him. That's kind of what it is.
This game in the final 2 minutes was up in the balance with Luka making 2 free throws, and he missed one of them.
Yeah.
And it was a deciding factor
in
this game. Like, I'm sorry, you're the best player on that team, highest paid, you're the superstar. You get sent to the charity strike on by the way, a bullshit foul.
Yeah,
like, he just fell down, and they were just like, oh, yep, foul.
That's that European shit right there, my boy.
I get it, but I hate it.
It's stupid. I hate it.
I do believe the NBA is rigged in the playoffs, especially towards the end of the series.
I don't know.
Like, it's just
it's not like all the big
just foul fixes.
Mind you, this is Dallas
Let's
versus Oklahoma City. It's not like we're watching Lakers fucking Celtics right now.
It's the semifinals.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's to a point, yeah. But what I'd like to say, overarching in all this, again, it's a 2-2 series. Mavericks probably going to win this game and go up 3-2. Kyrie Irving is maybe the most exciting player to watch in the NBA. And Kyrie Irving doesn't turn it on until the playoffs comes. Dude, some of the spin move behind the head, boop, that he throws up there is fucking insane. Like, when's the last time you see a 6'6" point guard that drives the lane and does not settle for threes almost ever? When's the last time you saw that? You're looking for toughness. This guy's dogging in the middle, and he's 6 foot.
I mean, if we're going to talk about Bronny James Jr., I mean, he might.
Wrong. Incorrect. Leave. I quit. I'm never doing this podcast again.
I understand. No. I mean, hey, you could compare him to like a Stephon Marbury. And Stephon Marbury, in my opinion, is arguably one of the most underrated point guards that ever played.
Best player to ever play in
China. Now, easily. Now, Kyrie in the playoffs is special. Always has been. And I just don't know if he has what it takes to carry this team the whole way, because to your point in our discussions, if we look at this team in OKC, they're not out until it's over, and the fourth quarter starts, and this team seems to wake up and go on a run.
It's because they're young, Mike. They're young.
They're hungry. They start figuring it out. They're well coached.
And they have energy, and they have bench players.
Yeah. Exactly. The depth there is going to help them. That's why I believe the Mavericks maybe fall tonight. But I digress. Now, there was a big bet from a local OKCian.
Wayne.
Is that how you say it? Oklahoman?
Wayne Shelton bets $100. And I saw this. I'm like, this is badass. Especially like the Chiefs, that's kind of like an add-on to the bet. That's like whatever. Wayne Shelton bets $100 in May of 2023 on the Rangers winning the World Series, which was bold. But if that ends, you're like, all right, bet's already over. The Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, kind of a shoo-in a little bit. And then the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the NBA Finals. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Wayne Shelton agrees. Parlay was going to pay out $1.7 million. He cashed out at $80,000. Which, number one, you get that close. He said, if this touches $80K, I'm cashing out. Would you stick it out, or would you cash it out at $80K?
$80K, babe.
Yeah,
I got a down payment on a house in 2024. Let's go.
All day. No, I'm with you 100%. It's an easy call. I don't think the Thunder are going to win.
Halfway.
What's that?
Or should I say halfway to it?
Yeah,
or should I say halfway to it? Down payment on a house in 2024.
These days, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, you got to cash out. You can't kick the gift horse in the mouth. I mean, you can't. And I mean, that's for them to win the finals. Like, do you keep sweating it out? Because if they lose tonight, that buyout, that cash out goes way, way down.
And I think that's where his thought was, but they win the series, goes up regardless. $80,000 on a $100 bet. Take the money. Even if they win, you're like, I still won $80,000.
Ooh.
Like,
Take the money and run. On $100? It's fucking amazing.
All day.
Well, let's keep it moving, Vince.
Yep.
So the Knicks and the Pacers looks like the most East thing I've ever seen. You know, we didn't connect the dots. We didn't connect the dots here on the whole Reggie Miller, New York Knicks of the 90s sort of thing. We didn't really talk about that, and it kind of makes me sad because it's really kind of history repeating itself. Now, granted, there's no one on the team.
Yeah, that was also 25 years ago, too, though.
Right.
That's like in 2011 when the Celtics and the Lakers went to the finals, and they're like, it's just like 85 all over again. You're like, okay.
Yeah, you see. Actually, Vince, that would be closer to 30-ish years ago now.
What? I thought it was 1999.
No, it was when Michael was out of the league.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So that would make it right around 95.
Was it? Oh, it was Knicks versus Rockets. That's what it was. I think that Reggie 13 seconds thing was in 99, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I'm not as sorry.
No. It was in 95.
They did something in 1999. I swear to God. Regardless.
We partied.
I didn't. I was 4. Maybe on Capri Suns.
No, I'm talking about Prince. Come on now.
No. Tonight we're gonna party like it's 1999. All right. Anyway, back to it. The story of every Tibbs team and every playoffs is Tom Thibodeau is overplaying his players. And part of me is like, yeah. And part of me is like, no. To the point that Tom Thibodeau is, Josh Hart in game 3 of this series, and I was watching and I started dying. Game 3 of the series, in the fourth quarter, Josh Hart gets pulled from the game. First minute of the entire series that he wasn't on the court. Third game, end of the game, they're like, ha! Let's give him a break. That's insane to me. I'm like, dude's played every minute. And to his credit,
Tibbs.
Sorry, go ahead.
Tibbs will never learn. We've talked about it for almost a month now.
Yeah.
He's gonna burn this team out. And if they even win this series, that's fine. They're gonna go play the Celtics and get fucking smoked.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the depth. It's like the most Tom Thibodeau team ever. There's like really good starting five.
Scrappy.
And then scrappy, play great defense, but then they're just by the Eastern Conference Finals. They're fucking smoked.
I mean, conventional
Their
wisdom
legs are
is
on their
conventional wisdom is full season, you run a 10-man rotation. In the playoffs, you move it down to an 8. He plays a 6-man rotation in the regular season and then a 5-man rotation in the playoffs. They're all a little injured, and all this conversation where it was like they're too tired, it's not good, it's not going to go great. They go in to the Mecca on Tuesday, right? Tuesday. And they beat the Pacers by 30. So, like, sometimes it doesn't matter. First, before we get into Jalen Brunson, because we have to talk about him, Josh Hart is under 6'5". Josh Hart has played many minutes as power forward and is leading this matchup in rebounds. I think he's just like the scrappiest, most Thibodeau type guy ever. He's like, get me out there and let me work. I don't think he's been put in a position this well in his entire career, because he's been at a lot of places at this point. And his fit here is great. The Nova Knicks is great. Basketball is better when the New York Knicks are playing well.
just like when the Bulls are playing well, right?
Yep.
And it's good to see them back in a semifinal. I think they ultimately take this series.
Yep.
And I mean, what's crazy to me though is like speaking of the Bulls, when you look at Josh Hart, when you look at
Jalen Brunson,
when you look at the Pacers, even Jalen
right.
Brunson, you look at this team and these guys that are playing at high levels, even Tyrese Maxey. Like, the Bulls had chances to draft all these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
And it's just the purest form of just what the fuck. But I digress. To your point, it's great to see the Knicks in a playoff game again. I do believe they take this series. It goes back to Indiana. That game is going to be tomorrow evening, or should we say, Friday night.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a great game to watch. It's going to be scrappy. It's going to be very scrappy.
I was doing a thought process because the Mavericks were in the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And you start thinking about that team, and one thing I forgot about, and it's very recent, so I shouldn't have forgot about it. Jalen Brunson was playing bench minutes for that team. Jalen Brunson was a second-round draft pick playing bench minutes for them and was an absolute dog for that team, and that's kind of why I got there. Now, the Mavericks might make it again this year, so all of that thought process can be gone. But the come-up of him, like, a Tibbs team is a bunch of guys that are undervalued coming in, and they're dogs and workhorses are going to come in and do their job. And God damn it if they don't. So Brunson drops another 44. I've been talking shit about small guards in the playoffs, and he seems to be hearing it and saying, fuck you, I'm going to do it my way. So I love that. I think a Knicks versus Celtics semifinal final, for the East is exactly what we want. We want an East Coast battle. I just already feel bad for them trying to say bing bong against the Celtics and getting routed in 4 or 5 games is my only concern.
You know, we called that series, and I really pray to God it happens, because it'll be the battle of two cities, and it'll just be like the Yankees and the Red Sox, but just the opposite. So
yeah,
it'll be fun.
Halliburton, is good as fuck. Halliburton's
about
the shit. We haven't talked about the Pacers at all, but Halliburton's the shit. But I just don't think he can do it by himself.
Bulls could have drafted him. Once again, back to my point. If they wanted to, the Bulls could have fucking drafted him, but they didn't.
Hindsight's 2020.
Instead,
unfortunately.
we get.
Hey, Kobe White was a dog this year.
He was not bad.
Wendell Carter
Yeah,
is
he
the
was.
real fucking issue.
But he he wouldn't have saw the court if it wasn't for the injuries. So I digress.
So he was 6 man.
Know who we need to talk about? Know who we need to talk about?
Who do we need to talk about, Mike?
Resident Italian DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know, DiVincenzo should give hope to all Italian Americans that you could actually, hopefully, one day play professional basketball, because you just don't see it. You don't see it. Take the shot, DiVincenzo. It never happens.
He needs to be
today.
6'4" and a redhead, and then you're in the league. That's all you got to do. Come on now.
I mean, the fact that this guy gives hope to small Italian men everywhere is truly impressive.
Small's a relative.
That's all I got.
Small's relative. He's still 6'4". He's a hell of a lot taller than I am.
He's an anomaly. He's an anomaly for most Italian men in the world. So
East Coast went to Villanova, plays for the Knicks. How you doing? He's doing great. Should we talk about the most exciting matchup right now?
Man, I'm getting pretty worried about it, Vince. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting worried about these Timberwolves.
Some back talk for us. Last week we began recording with a confidence that the Timberwolves are going to take it easy. They're the biggest matchup. We were right. We knew the Timberwolves were the biggest matchup for them. Nuggets can't come back. They can't guard this kind of shit. We were wrong. We were wrong. We thought it was over after 2, and then Nikola Jokic was like, hey, remember me, assholes? I'm the MVP. I'm the best player on the court, and they all changed it. Jokic, deserved MVP. Probably deserved it last year, but they gave it to Embiid, and then we saw it in the playoffs, and we knew that, Jokic should have been the MVP. Number 2, showed it last night, put up 40, 14, and 7. Nothing got by them. Wolves couldn't get shit together. Anthony Edwards didn't do anything in the first half. Cat, as much as he tried, did get injured a little bit. And fucking Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, COVID king himself. Rudy Gobert, great defender. Rudy Gobert yelling at everybody on the team. Rudy Gobert stuck in the fucking paint all of the time. Get out of the way. Shift and move when you're on offense. It's driving me bananas because then Jokic is just sitting there like, okay, I got to cover the guy that's never going to score right now. I'm just going to stand here and wait and then pull the ball out. Anthony Edwards can't get his game moving if Rudy Gobert's in the middle of the paint. So get the fuck out of there, dude. Maybe he just doesn't understand the English aspect of it with his French ass.
No, I mean, really, he is Joker's son. Joker just eats him alive. And
Especially
they may want to consider putting Cat on it. They may want to consider putting Cat on him, but the problem with Cat is
what a horrible idea,
man.
though. He's so much worse at defense. That's insane.
I know, but
Gobert's the best defender in the league.
Just to switch, technically, but like I said, he is the son of Jokic. So
Jokic,
with that,
not the tennis
you
player.
look at this. Jokic,
you see him get a metal bottle
one
to the head
to another, right? No.
Yeah, he was signing autographs and a water bottle fell out of the backpack of somebody and donked him in the head like a hydro flask, completely full. Pretty brutal. All right, that was a squirrel. Anyway, back to NBA.
Who would have thought Stanleys are taking people out in 2024?
Fucking Stanley.
Okay, so if we look at the stats, 48 points in the paint compared to the Nuggets, who are just 62 in the paint, and really the turnovers, man. I mean, 14 turnovers to the 11 of the Nuggets. And it just, for me, I watched the first half of this game, and I knew by the time we got to the second half, they were cooked. And not only that, but Anthony Edwards, you're not going to expect to win a game if he's not scoring more than 25.
I mean, put up 18 as a team in the second quarter. Like, it's just, and also, okay, so watch it, because I was watching it intently. Coming out of halftime, it was like something new happened. Like, the Nuggets were controlling the game, and somehow the Timberwolves were still only 4 or 5 back. But it felt, at least momentum-wise, that the Nuggets were running the game. Come out of halftime, Timberwolves get a lead one time. They take the lead one time, and then it was like, all right, it's fucking over. Like, yeah, they won by 15, but it felt like they won by 40 as far as momentum was concerned. So now Denver's up 3-2, and they got to win one more. I hope this goes 7. I really hope it goes 7. It'd be so fun, dude.
I hope it goes 7 as well, just for the entertainment factor.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a grind.
It's gonna be.
I hope the 2 Western Conference series go the distance. That would be,
sick.
for me, it would be some of the best TV you could ask for.
Because all the Bostonians are going to be
Mavs,
like, you're tired. You're coming in here. Jason Tatum's going to eat you alive. And then they're going to lose somehow because they always do. That'd be fun.
It would be. I actually hope the Knicks Pacers go 7. I hope that the Timberwolves and Nuggets go 7, and I hope the Thunder and Mavs go 7. Now that we're there, this would be awesome.
I'd love it.
It would be sick.
I love basketball, Mike. Also, Naz Reid, dog. All the guys that are getting his tattoo, love it. Shout out Naz Reid.
Love basketball.
Me too.
Well, Vince, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Are you thinking about coming to my neck of the woods at the end of the month?
Maybe. Possibly.
Is that a thought process right now?
Possibly. You put me on the spot.
Boys may be back. Boys might be back in the saddle. Watch out. More content coming your way, people. But as always, we appreciate you joining us as you do every Thursday. Without you, this doesn't exist. If you are listening on YouTube right now, we thank you. Please give us a follow, like, share it to your friends, share it to your mother. Shout out to the mothers once again. Happy Mother's Day. And with that, we thank you for joining us. Spotify as well. If you're there, hit the follow button, hit the bell. And it's the year of the siblings. Share with your brother, share with your sister, share with your brother from another mother. And then, as always, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Talking Tales with Mike and Vince. Oh, you know. Jazzy beats while we dispense. Yeah, you know.